What's up, guys? This is Stevenson Lindor here with Self-Paid University, and I'm here to just cut this quick video to show you guys how to properly place support and resistance lines on your charts. All right. Now, first things first is understanding what are support and resistance. All right. So support and resistance are lines drawn on your chart, basically indication as to where market price hits major areas and struggle to break through. All right. So support being areas of buyers, resistance being areas of sellers. All right. Now, one of the tricks that I utilize when marking up the charts and what I like to do just to make life easier is one, I like to switch my candlesticks to line charts. Boom. And the reason being is it clearly just shows you all the major areas that you need to focus on. All right. Now, when you're looking at candlesticks, you can do the same thing here, but a lot of people get confusion as to where to place support and resistance. So they'll have lines literally all over their charts based on, all these wicks and candles and so on and so forth. So, not to cause any confusion or anything like that, I just like to change over to line charts over here, and boom. Of course, I like to look at the higher time frames, like I always state. The higher the time frame, the stronger the confirmation, and that goes for anything, whether you're using support, resistance, supply and demand, whatever type of indicator you're possibly using. The higher the time frame, the better the confirmation. So what I like to do is one, go over here, start marking up basically all of the important areas, which is the highest point for resistance and the lowest points of support. Now I'm on the daily chart, so my first major resistance line would be up here. My first major support area would be down here. Boom. Now this is based off the daily, and I'll just mark up a couple more lines. So my second major that points out to me is another one right here. Now, this is also another area of resistance, but you don't want too many lines. Like I said, you just want between 1 to possibly 5 lines based off the daily chart. And then I'm going to show you how you can move down to the smaller time frame. And then now it just looks clean. You basically created zone areas of where you can enter and exit the market based on how market price reacts once it gets to the support and resistance lines. So boom, it's another resistance. Here's another major one right here. And as far as support, we got one more over here. Now this is based off the daily. Now look what happens when I move down to a smaller time frame. Let's say the 4-hour. And I switch over to candlesticks. It bounces off these zones. And you can literally just trade. And you can literally just trade off these zones. See how clean that looks? Boom. So how do you trade off support and resistance? Well, what you want to do is when market price gets near these support and resistance line, you want to see how it reacts to it. And based off of either reversal or breakout, will let you know where you need to enter the market. So let's say, for example, right here, market price did a nice uptrend to the upside, broke through with a solid candlestick, closed above this resistance. So this was previously resistance. Now it turns into support. Because what's resistance? Resistance is above market price. Support is below. So once market price breaks above, and understand something, market price is always going to break through new levels of support and resistance. Just like I stated in the previous video on supply and demand, market price is always going to break through new supply and demand zones. It just has to. Market price has to set new levels. So what it's going to do is it's going to break through, and then it's going to revisit that area that it just broke through like it did here. Now what you're waiting for to see is if the market is going to actually break through and go back down on an uptrend, or it's going to reverse. So based off the 4-hour time frame, you wait for this candlestick. Once you see it near a support or resistance area, you wait for it to close. So after it closes, you see, all right, it didn't break through. Wait for another 4-hour to form. Boom. You don't jump in right away because you don't know. It could look like this could easily go on an uptrend and then boom, shot down. That's why you want to wait, be patient. It's part of trading. So you wait for this 4-hour candlestick. So you're talking about a 8-hour wait, 4 hours here, 4 hours here. Boom. Once you see this, this is confirmation that, all right, now I have a solid bullish candlestick. You wait for the next candle to form. Then you get in for your buy. You place your stop loss outside of the range, and then you take the trade. And then because you have this resistance up here, you can literally trade, again, from support to resistance, from zone to zone. So this is a 200 pip to the upside right here. So I would have placed my buy right here and rolled this all the way up. Boom. This is good for about 180 pips. That's a solid trade right there. And this would be your exit point. Now, same thing here. You wait for what market price does once it gets to this next level of resistance. Now, it tried to break through, but what happened? Market price didn't really close and kept going on an uptrend. The next candle that formed went back down because it reached a new level. So now it's set the new standard over here. Market price revisited and came back down. Boom. Try to come up again one more time. Trying to break. Had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about a few times. Six. So based off this 4-hour time frame, so it had basically a whole day. 6 times 4, 24. So about a whole day just playing around this resistance level. And then it finally said, all right, we've pushed high enough. It's not going to go on this uptrend. And then you see this bearish candlestick. Once I would have saw the strong bearish candlestick, based off the size of this, I would have waited. Once this candlestick closed, so wait for the 4-hour to close on this candlestick, then I get in on the sell on the next candle that forms. Boom. And then once again, your support zone is down here. You can literally ride this to the next support zone. Nice. 100, 140, 150 plus move to the downside. That's a solid trade right there. All right. And you can literally just trade from zone to zone. I know a lot of traders who literally do this, just trade from zone to zone. So again, what you want to do is, let me start this all over again. When placing support and resistance, support being areas of buyers, so you place below market price, resistance above market price, areas of sellers. You want to turn your candlesticks to line charts, which is what I like to do, and get every major area of support and resistance. So I have resistance line here. Next major resistance line I have around here. Boom. I have one right here. This would be a support. I have definitely one down here. Support. Got a resistance line right here. And understand, your lines will never be perfect. So don't think, oh, everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be identical. No, it does not. It just has to be, as long as it's within the area and you're just catching major points, basically the highest point. So this would be the highest peak based off the 4-hour, lowest point based off the 4-hour, you're good to go. And that's why I like using the line chart, because it clearly shows you like where the highs and lows are. Boom. So once you turn back to candlesticks, and because I did this on the 4-hour as before I did on the daily, I would move down to the 1-hour. And literally, again, you can just trade from zone to zone. And like I said, when to enter in. So for example, right here, you have a resistance up here. You saw market price, try to touch it, retraced. So I wait till this 4-hour candlestick closed. Boom. After I seen this strong drop right here, I'm getting in on the next 4-hour candle. So this is about an 8-hour wait. I mean, based off the 1-hour time frame, this is about a 2-hour wait. 3rd hour, I'm getting in for a sell here, and I can pretty much ride it to the next support zone right there. So boom, and then cash out. All right. So that's a quick short video on support and resistance. Thank you very much. Have a good day.